Hey, fellow fly boys and girls, welcome to my shop. I actually do a lot of woodworking as a hobby as well, but I do other things. And what I've done is I have built myself one of these homemade propane engine preheaters. Now, before you all jump on me for open flame near the airplane, it's contained. There's no open flame near the airplane. It's down inside here. There's multiple YouTube videos on building these and how they work. They seem to be very popular in Alaska. Geez, I wonder why. So what I've got here is a small butane or propane cook stove. I've attached a 6-inch to 4-inch adapter. And to that I've attached, and this is all with pop rivets, to that I've attached this piece of flex hose. And into the flex hose I've added a thermometer. None of the designs I saw had this in there. But if you want to control the heat going into the cowling, you really should have something like this to tell you what's going out of this tube. So let me come down a little closer and I'll show you. Oh, and it runs off of these little camp propane tanks, or you can get the butane tanks that go inside of here. But I bought this one specifically because it had the adapter for the propane tank. Gave me a little more burn time, I guess. I'm not sure. But let's get a little closer down here and I'll show you what I did. Gas 1, I got it off of Amazon. There'll be a link in the description. Gas 1 burner. As you can see, what I've done here is I fastened some aluminum angles to the 6 to 4 reducer. I pop riveted that together. I pop riveted that onto the bars you would set your pan on when you're cooking on this thing. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but the burner is buried deep inside there. So the flame is contained and it's inside of here. That, of course, leads to this 6 to 4 reducer. And the 6 to 4 reducer has this piece of flex tube connected to it, which is screwed in place, so I can change it if I need to. And as I stated, this is something that should be included. This is basically a barbecue probe. And it sits inside the tube here, and it gives me the temperature here, so that I know what the temperature is here, and I won't overcook the anything under the cowling. Now the thing is that I can't see the temperature getting very hot in there anyway. Once it leaves this end and goes into the cowling, it's going to expand up and fill that whole space. So let's get down to the airport and do an initial test trial on this and see how it works. So here it is under the airplane. There's the flue work I told you about, I showed you, and it's going up into the engine cowling where the nose gear comes through, because that slot is, I got to push it up a little further. That slot is wider and allows for more material, more of the hose to get up inside there. The ambient temperature here, the engine is cold soaked right now to 33 degrees. The ambient temperature out here is about 40 or something. So let's turn this on and see, and I'll see what the results are like. So the temperature in the tube is 350 degrees, but it's warming up, just warming up inside the engine compartment, inside the engine cowling. So I'm going to leave it at that temperature, and that's, by the way, about a foot back from the exit of the tube. So starting to feel some warm air at the top of the engine cowling. This is about as far as I could get it up inside that opening. I think I'm going to have to do a different kind of fitting to get up inside there. I mean, it's warming the engine up, but we'll see. Well, my regular camera ran out of battery, so I'm on the iPhone right now. So what I've discovered is I need to put baffles around this to block wind from getting underneath the vent, that vent portion I showed you, so that the flame doesn't get blown around when it's a little bit windy. So that's the one modification I see I've got to make, plus the modification to the outlet. Well, that was productive. Unfortunately, that camera, my main camera, battery went dead, and I, of course, didn't have a spare battery with me. I've got two in the shop here, but didn't grab one and take it with me. So I ran out of battery when I was filming some of that, or trying to film some of the information. So what did I get? So after about 20 minutes or so, half hour, I wound up with the back half of the engine, at least the magneto and the back plate, the back case cover of the engine was warmer. The engine case was about 48 degrees. The magneto was 57 degrees. The front of the engine, the aluminum fins for the head were 46 degrees, and the steel portion of the cylinder was 38 degrees. Now, I understand that's basically, in that short amount of time, mostly surface temperature. It hadn't gotten down deeper into the engine. But it is warming the engine. There's no question about it. So, more data points, I figured out what I have to do to make this work even better, hopefully. So, what I need to do, because I can't get this up really inside the bottom of the cowling where the nose gear goes through. It's just a little too tight. So I need to go to 3 inches here. So what I did is I bought a 4 to 3 inch reducer, which will go right here. And now, since this temperature probe is too long to go inside this smaller diameter, I got another one with a much smaller probe, shorter probe, and that'll go inside probably right about here. And then I got some 3 inch flex, just like this, only different, some 3 inch flex hose, and I'll plop that on the end of here. I'll expand this out. I won't use all this. I'm just going to use a little bit of it and expand it out. And then I'll be able to get it up inside the cowling. So I think I have a promising design here. Now, I can't take credit for this because there are a plethora of YouTube videos of pilots making their own engine preheaters just like this. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, this is a floating plate here. It floats on top. You can just lift it right off. So what I did is I drilled the top plate and run some stainless steel machine screws down in there, so now it's all connected in one piece. And as I said in the video, when I was up at the airport, I have to put some baffles here to keep the wind from blowing under here and rattling the flame. It doesn't shoot the flame out, but I don't want it to blow the flame out. So why am I doing all this? Well, preheating your engine is a really smart thing to do. There's no power. I'm at a grass tie down in the middle of the field. There's no electrical power there. I don't want to invest in a very expensive generator and electrical heater. The engine never had an engine heating system on it, block heater, Rife heater, anything. It didn't have any of those heaters on it. So this is right now our best alternative. Now there's a friend of mine owns the airplane. I don't want to have a bunch of gear that we have to haul around in our cars to preheat the airplane. And I haven't got a deck box. I don't know if I can even put a deck box down. I'll have to talk to the airport owner. If I can put a deck box down, that'll help a little bit. So, next step is to put these parts on there and go ahead and do a full test and go fly the airplane. And I'll give you the results of that when I come back and see how it worked out. Until then, fly safe.